What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel as well as on Twitch, so make sure you come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound, and I do have a new song out recently called Summer Gravity, so check it out. Let me know what you think, and I appreciate the support. All right, guys, we're doing another land video today, and I probably did a video on this a little while back, but I want to do an update just because we're starting to see an even bigger trend here across land resources. And obviously we've had a bunch of new things come up for land, and we have a bunch of new things coming up in the near future with land cards. So the fact that we're starting to see this already, to me, is really exciting. And what am I talking about here? Okay, so these are the two charts here. Shout out to Beaker for the land website that we use. And for anybody who's interested, it is land.spl-stats.com. And I'm in the resource section, so you can go to /resource, but a lot of great stuff on that website. So here we go. This is the interesting thing here. We had seen grain stabilize out for a long time, and I would say that the other three resources were very much still in price discovery mode. Now, obviously, we saw ups and downs, especially with what we'll say like wood and iron. But keep in mind that this cost per 1,000 resources is based on the DEC price, not the US dollar price. So it's a multi-variable. If you're thinking about this from US dollar terms, which I think most of us are. With the decline of DEC, right, where I think we're trading at like 60% of PEG right now, with the decline of DEC, it's not surprising to see resources kind of increase, right, in value versus, not inflate, but like increase in value versus DEC. So that's kind of what we saw here when DEC started to decline, we'll say like in July after the initial mania around the pre-sale and sale and launch of Conclave Arcana. At that point, though, things kind of were in like an up and down choppy area, and, stone, oddly enough, has continued to go down. But what I am liking about what I'm seeing here is that wood is starting to become more scarce. Wood, which, again, it's the least scarce, or I guess second most abundant outside of grain, obviously, but we've had grain for a while. So of the three new ones, it's the most abundant, but we're actually starting to see some scarcity build in there because, in my opinion, probably everybody was going for stone and iron just because, there's a higher kind of appreciated value there. And there was just an opportunity, right? So the fact that we're starting to see wood now getting that kind of appreciation in price versus DEC, to me, is obviously a very good sign, right? So as somebody who owns a lot of wood, this makes me feel good because then I'm able to take that and use it to spend on other resources, or to what I've actually been using it for is just dumping it on the market, plowing it into DEC and staking more DEC for my land. And so all I'm saying, again, this is not a video about me. This is just showing kind of like the update in the marketplace, and specifically, on the resources and the trade hub. So I like the fact that we're seeing that. We're even seeing grain start to increase across, right? So I don't know where we're at right now, but we'll say 12 grain per DEC is I think what this is being measured at, right? So 12 grain per DEC. Back when things were like stabilized out, we were in the 8 to 9 range, right? So this is even appreciated 33% in value, again, versus DEC, which is also declining. So not in USD terms, not in US dollar terms, but again, I do believe that is significant, right? So we're up to what, 42 on wood, and you just look even just a couple of weeks ago, back in September, it was 27. So that's like a 50% increase on the value of wood. Now, is this going to spur a lot of people to turn on wood plots or maybe redirect energy back to wood plots? It might, right? And that's not the point of this video. Obviously, like all this information is available for free. I'm not pushing anybody to do that, but it is showing that as we move forward, there is starting to be scarcity, and the markets are just going to market. And I absolutely love that because I'm sure a lot of plots got turned off at some point over the last 3 months, right? Or, we'll say since like July. I guess it's 3 months, almost three and a half months at this point. But, I'm sure a lot of wood plots got turned off in favor of things like Aura, for example, right? Or maybe people went back to research or whatever it was. So I like the fact that we're seeing that, and it just shows that the markets are going to market. And as this happens, what I'm even considering doing on some of my wood producing plots is increasing the production there. right? So you can see how this is having the intended behavior as I start to look and see, okay, what are the cards available to me that I can go in and, increase my production, right? The limiting factor for me is still staking DEC, which I think is probably the limiting factor for many other people, but that is where my mindset is at. And I'm really having a lot of fun playing the land game right now, if you can't tell. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.